That's right, this is not a museum, this is a library. It has Renaissance-style architecture and all of these stunning columns, ornate details, and murals. It really feels like we're in an art museum or something. We spend a lot of time in libraries on the road. They're our go-to spot to work because they're free and they usually have fast Wi-Fi. And this is hands down the most beautiful library we have ever been to.
This library is...
My friend, sorry for pausing, but Boston is looking tremendous. I really believe if you like history, this is the place to go. Would you guys agree with that? If so, leave me a like. Also, another thing. I know I'm repeating myself, but anyone watching from Boston, if so, leave me a comment, my friend, because I take a look at most comments and I would love to know you. Your city looks amazing. Today I'll be reacting to Visiting Boston for 2 days. My friends, this should be a fascinating one. I know Boston is a tremendous city, but before I go into that, let me ask you for one thing. If you can leave a like, thank you so much. It's the best way to show support. If you can subscribe, well, in that case, forget about it. You make my day. Have that in consideration. Now, link for the original video in my description. I love this type of videos. Well, let's play it.
Welcome to Boston, Massachusetts, a city integral in the founding of the United States and loaded with history around every corner. It's a place that we have wanted to visit for years, and for the next 2 days, we're going to try to experience as much as we can. From the historic sites, dump the tea in the sea!
Oh, the tea party, right?
To delicious local eats,
Holy cannoli!
to bucket list
Holy.
experiences. But first,
Man.
we have to get there.
Oh, friends, I love to react to this stuff, real talk, and I'm gonna ask this probably a couple of times because I repeat myself a lot, sorry, it's a problem that I have, but anyone watching from Boston, if so, please leave me a comment. This city seems such a tremendous place and I love all the history. Great channel, by the way. It's a nice Mercedes.
We're staying outside the city, which we'll share more about later. And to get to the city, we're gonna take the ferry from Hingham to Rose Wharf. Costs $19.50 per person round trip, and it should be about a 30-minute ride.
Okay. Oh, that flag.
We are getting our first glimpse ever of Boston.
Oh boy.
How freaking cool is it to see a city for the very first time from a boat?
It's crazy cool.
Heck yeah!
Finally! We are
Boston
deeming
is super
today our
famous.
History Day, so we're going to try to check out as many of the historical sites in the city as we can, starting with the Freedom Trail. The entire Freedom Trail is 2.5 miles long and includes a bunch of sites to see, both quick stops and some that take longer, plus some that you have to pay to enter. And we're not going to be checking out everything along the Freedom Trail, but we picked a handful of spots that we're most interested in, and we just took a lift from the ferry to our first stop, the USS Constitution.
The USS
Okay. Oh, by the way, this boat is looking so amazing. I forgot what I was about to say. Oh, I remember now. So Boston, I would say, is one of the most famous cities in America, actually, probably in the world, right? But yeah, I mean, this is one of the places I would love to visit in America because I like history and I feel this is it.
USS Constitution launched in 1797 and is the oldest commissioned warship afloat. It has sailed all over the world, including the Caribbean, Mediterranean, Pacific, Europe, and Africa, and has been involved in many battles, including in the War of 1812, where it earned the nickname Old Ironsides.
What? I love the buildings.
One very important person in Boston's history is Paul Revere. He was a silversmith who lived here in Boston. In fact, you can go tour his house while on the Freedom Trail, which is the oldest remaining structure in downtown Boston. But he is most famously known
cool.
for his midnight ride at the start of the American Revolution, which happened at the Old North Church right behind me. That I don't think you can see, but it's right there somewhere. Paul Revere asked 3 Boston patriots to watch for British troop movement and hang lanterns in the steeple to send a warning to the waiting American militia across the Charles River. Revere said to hang
Paul Revere, okay.
1 lantern if the British troops marched by land, and 2 if they approached by sea. 2 lanterns were hung, and Paul Revere and others began their ride to Lexington and Concord to warn that the British were coming.
Holy, what a city.
Walking around Boston feels like you're walking through a giant outdoor museum. It feels like you're just gonna bump into history around every corner.
Wow.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Revere.
Yeah, okay.
Another popular stop along the Freedom Trail is Faneuil Hall. This was the first public meeting space in Boston, as well as a marketplace for the city. And as the city grew in the 1820s, they needed more space for marketplace vendors, so they built Quincy Market next door. Quincy Market has now been turned into a food hall and is now one of the top attractions here in Boston. We've heard mixed things about it though, that it's super touristy and very busy, so we're just gonna wander through just to see it because we have another market in mind that we want to check out instead.
Okay, so when I think about Boston, for some reason, I think about Italians and Irish people, because I think the influence is big there. But I'm not sure if this is a mess in my head, because maybe it's just Irish culture or it's both. I don't understand this very well, but it's a tremendous place, I mean.
Quincy Market was cool to see, and it actually wasn't that busy, but I think being here early on a Monday definitely helps. But we heard that Boston Public Market was another great market to check out. This market is much newer. It was built in 2015, but it focuses a lot on small local businesses and has a slightly less touristy vibe to it.
Guys have amazing markets, actually. I saw one in Omaha in other video, also tremendous. I bet the food is really good here. Oh boy. I'm all about that.
There are so many great stands in this market. There's a juice shop, a plant shop, there's produce, there's fresh seafood, there's a cider place, there's a bar. There's a ton to see here. It is totally our vibe. And we first had to get some iced coffees because it is very hot and muggy out today. And then we also needed a snack.
Okay, hot take. I don't think iced coffee is good if the weather is very hot. I know you guys disagree with this, but I think I don't get fresh with iced coffee for some reason. I have to take a soda or even a beer, or of course what. But coffee, I love coffee, but iced coffee, I don't know. I don't think is my thing actually.
So we went to this place called Moroccan, which has these Moroccan bowls with rice and meat and sauces and veggies. We got their Prince one with a bunch of sauces, and it looks so good.
Whoa, so good. We got like their pineapple barbecue sauce on there. I think that's what this red sauce is here. You instantly taste that. It's like sweet, and then there's some harissa on here. It makes it spicy. I'm like drooling.
Looks
And the
beautiful,
chicken,
the
man,
plate.
is so moist and juicy. Oh, this is so good. This is a lot of food for one order too, man. Nice and heavy.
Typical American.
That is rockin'.
Is it rocking your red socks off?
That's rocking my red socks off.
On American standard side. You guys know what's up.
Boston is the capital of Massachusetts, and this building right behind me is the old State House. There's a new State House just down the road, but this old State House holds a lot of history. It was the site of the Boston Massacre in 1770, the first bloodshed of the American Revolution, and the Declaration of Independence was read for the first time in Boston from the balcony on July 18th, 1776. It's kind
No, but for real, take a look. I'm sorry. I know I'm pausing so much in this video, but this type of videos I pause too much because I really want to pay attention. Because I don't know if I will ever be able to go to a place like this, so I want to enjoy it. But take a look at this.
history. It was the site of the Boston Massacre in 1770, the first bloodshed of the American Revolution, and the Declaration of Independence was
Come on. This building is amazing. We don't do stuff like this nowadays, I feel like. Oh man. This is art.
read for the first time in Boston from the balcony on July 18th, 1776. It's kind of crazy to see an old building like this surrounded by a more modern building like this. Boston is so cool.
Oh, Boston is really cool. And this is related with the civil.
There are 16 historic burying
American
grounds here
Revolution.
in Boston, and the most visited is the Granary Burying Ground along the Freedom Trail. While there's only 2,300 markers, it's said that there are over 5,000 people buried here, including John Hancock and Paul Revere.
But what's really crazy is that we found a still alive British soldier from the American Revolution just wandering around the cemetery.
What?
We made it to Boston Common, which marks the beginning or the end of the Freedom Trail, depending on which way you go. And we plan to explore the park more tomorrow because we still have one more historic site that we want to check out. But first, we gotta get more food. And we're not just getting any food. Adam, what are we getting?
Some chowder!
What? Chowder. Oh boy. Seafood is a big thing here, right? Okay.
We came to James Hook & Co., which has been family-owned since 1925, and they're known for their lobster rolls and chowder. We had lobster rolls in Connecticut, and they're a bit pricey, so we're just gonna try their chowder instead. That is a wicked good chowder. There are tons of clams in here, and it is super creamy. Lots of potato. This is just like
It's looking really nice, actually.
heartwarming and hearty.
Oh, it's so thick and creamy.
What?
One of the first things we think of when we think of Boston is the Boston Tea Party. The Boston Tea Party was a protest by American colonists in 1773 against British taxes on tea. While disguised as Native Americans, they dumped British tea into the Boston Harbor, showing their resistance to unjust taxation and British control.
Oh, this was Native Americans doing... Oh, I did not know this. Okay.
It was a huge contributing event to the Revolutionary War, and to learn more about it, we're heading to the Boston Tea Party Ships and Museum, which is one of the things we've been most excited about here in Boston. We actually booked the experience through TripAdvisor, who is the sponsor of today's video.
All right, now let's go dump some tea into the sea.
Okay. This is one of the key moments in American history.
For the 4 o'clock town meeting are set to meet in the East Meeting House, wherein we will discuss the fate of that pernicious weed. Huzzah!
We start out in a meeting room. We're about to have a very important meeting. We all get a character card, and I have a talking part. I'm so excited.
Mr. Davis will be right next door. An importer of groceries and liquors, of which, as a distiller, we are in business.
I'm Robert Davis, and I actually died on my birthday. That's a bad omen.
I'm trying to practice so I get it right. I'm a little nervous. There's a lot of people in here.
This is quite loud for a crowd of 5,000 angry Bostonians!
Let's
We
go.
are gathered here to discuss yet another crisis forced on us by Parliament, supposedly on behalf of our monarch, King George III. What say you on the stand act, sir?
Parliament not only taxed our paper and ink, they even taxed our playing cards and dice!
Damn, I'm getting fired up,
I
actually.
think I nailed it.
Now, rally, patriots! Huzzah!
All right, we're all fired.
Okay, one thing that I'm thinking about. If I go here, and if they give me the paper to read... Holy... Can you imagine all of a sudden a Russian guy starts... I'm not Russian, actually, but you guys say my English sounds Russian. That would be a bit weird, right? If all of a sudden... Okay, but I would love to try it, actually.
Fired up, and we're headed down to the ship!
I'm fired up.
Huzzah!
The quote is no taxation without representation, right? And sounds very fair.
Say aye! Aye! Shove off the mighty yoke of tyranny, say aye! Aye! Be arrested and tried for treason, say aye! Aye!
I swear,
I was not there!
I was not there. No taxation without representation. Huzzah!
Dump the tea in the sea!
Huzzah!
This is way too much fun.
I love this. let's drink some tea.
That experience was amazing. It was so interactive. Normally with museums, you learn by reading and watching things, which we did watch a movie that we weren't allowed to film, but here you really learn by doing, and you get to just be involved the entire time. I was thriving. I loved every single second. And at the end of the tour, they have a tea room, and you can pay a little bit extra to try the 5 teas that were thrown overboard during the Boston Tea Party. We got the 2 strongest ones. I smell one of them smells very interesting.
The smell is very pungent. It smells like the ship was set on fire. And that's the tea right here. I don't know how to describe tea, so I'm gonna go with exquisite. I like the smell of it too. It makes you feel like you're sitting around a campfire or something.
We've tried almost all of the teas now, and they're all really good. Such a shame that we had to throw them overboard. Congratulations on the job well done destroying the British team.
Huzzah!
Friends, but coffee is quite more popular in America than tea, right? At least I have this idea.
Only thing missing from our little tea party here is a little sweet treat. I think I know exactly what to get.
That's right, a Boston cream pie. Fun fact, Boston cream pie is not actually pie, it is cake. It's layers of sponge cake with a cream filling between them and chocolate ganache on the top.
Oh,
it's
that
the
is
state
looking
dessert
so
in
nice.
Massachusetts, and it was first created in 1856 at the Omni Parker House Hotel.
Let me guess, André, you are angry. Well, how did you know?
But we hear Flour Bakery has a really good one, so we came here instead. Oh, it's so soft. Look at this.
Right. How good?
So just fluffy and moist and creamy. The cake is not dry at all. It's just soaked up some of that cream. Oh my goodness. I love it.
It's looking tremendous. Oh yeah.
My favorite kind of dessert is a tres leches cake, and this kind of has a very similar texture to it. It's obviously not as wet and dripping with all the milk, but like it's nice and moist, and there's so much cream in there. Oh baby, this is so good.
Oh, Boston. It's looking really good so far, my friends.
Have a good one. Thank you.
And I have this
Visiting
probably,
Boston was a little
a stereotype that Boston people are very tough. You know, I don't know, probably because of some comedies or something.
logistically challenging for us. First, we had to board Kona for a few days because we wanted to be able to explore the city freely and not worry about her or have to rush back to get to her. We also had to figure out where to park the van. We've taken the van to quite a few big cities, but we had heard that Boston wasn't very big vehicle friendly, so we're utilizing a park and ride lot and then taking public transportation into the city. We also had to figure out where to sleep because there are really no free camping options that we could find. So we ended up booking a campsite at Wampatuck State Park, which is about 24 miles outside of Boston. It is $60 a night for a power site for non-residents, so it's not cheap, but it is a nice campground, and it's in a good spot to explore the city with both the train and the ferry nearby, which is how we plan to get into Boston again tomorrow. We have made it into Boston, and now we're going to tackle the T, which is the subway, for the first time ever to get to our first stop for the day.
Okay.
We've been using this M-Tickets app to buy all of our public transportation tickets, and it is super easy.
And they are very good at this.
Okay, I lied. We actually got on a train, not a subway. But this thing's pretty nice. It's like a bed. It's so big.
Maybe public transportation here is really good.
Oh, cool.
That sucks.
Today is a very exciting day for me because I finally get to visit Fenway Park, which is the oldest MLB ballpark in the US and the home of the Boston Red Sox. I have a goal of visiting all MLB ballparks, and this morning we're going on a tour of Fenway Park.
Wait, this team is really that famous, or the Red Sox? I mean, probably right, since this is the oldest stadium.
Which we also booked on TripAdvisor, and I am so pumped.
Beautiful day to see Fenway Park, most beautiful ballpark in America.
Look at this.
Oh, did you guys notice the accent? Ballpark. It's so cool. Baseball stadiums are really nice.
Our tour
Some of
kicked
the most
off with our
beautiful
guy
stadiums.
Joe sharing some of the park's 111 years of history, including some of the great players who have played here. We also learned a bunch of fun facts about the park, including how it's not symmetrical, and heard the story behind the one red seat among a sea of green seats, which is where in 1946 Ted Williams hit the longest home run inside the park at 502 feet. And we got to learn about the iconic Green Monster.
Oh, that's so
A little
cool.
history of Red Sox and Fenway Park. Next thing is we're going to go up to the Green Monster seats. Want to go up there?
Yeah.
We just can't go up there. We just can't go up there. How many people here from Massachusetts? Not a one. Not a one. No, in Massachusetts we have a problem. You know what the problem is? You know what the biggest problem is? We don't have an R in our alphabet. So these seats are called the Green Monster seats. If you wish to go up there, see Fenway Park from that beautiful viewing angle, you need to earn the right to go up there. And the way you do that, on the count of three, you have to say Green Monster. Are we ready?
Green Monster. Oh, wait, what? Green Monster. Green Monster. Okay, we do that.
1, 2, 3. Green Monster. Let's go up.
Oh, so that's one of the difference in their way of speaking?
Throughout the tour, we wandered around the entire stadium, seeing it from different vantage points, walked through the press room, and got to see Fenway Farms, a rooftop garden that was created to utilize empty space. And the produce that is grown is used in the ballpark, which is super cool.
Thanks for
You know what? If I was American, I said this in other videos, but I really believe on this. I would be into baseball because I love history, and I think baseball, if you love history, it's pretty great. But I also like college football. Which one you guys like the best actually watching? Because I know those two are so famous, the baseball and college football. College football, from what I understand, is even more popular than NFL. Blew my mind when I realized that. But both sports are tremendous.
allowing us to show you Fenway Park.
Thank
Follow
you.
me.
We just got done with the Fenway Park tour and it was so much fun. You get to walk all around the ballpark and learn not only about the ballpark, but also so much about the Red Sox. And a big shout out to our guy Joe, he was amazing as well. I'm not a Red Sox fan by any means, but I'm a big baseball fan, and if you're a baseball fan, this is a must-do experience.
If you want
for
to
sure.
experience this tour or the Boston Tea Party Ships and Museum, we'll put their TripAdvisor links in the description and pin comment below. But even if you're not coming to Boston, we have a 10% off code for any experience booked on TripAdvisor, which is A+K10.
A huge thank you to TripAdvisor for supporting our adventures and giving us these iconic
It's a
Boston
great sponsor.
experiences. And to continue our Boston exploring, we're off to have a little Italian feast in the North End.
Oh, so Italian is a thing here. Okay, maybe not Irish actually. Now I'm even more confused.
The North End is located in the northern part of the city and also where a few of the stops along the Freedom Trail we checked out yesterday are located. But besides its American Revolution history, it also has a lot of Italian history. The North End has been inhabited by many different people and cultures since the 1630s, making it Boston's
nice.
oldest residential neighborhood. But by 1930, almost all residents were Italian, and many Italian restaurants, bakeries, and shops sprung up, many of which are still here today.
Galleria Umberto. Umberto. Oh boy.
There are many delicious Italian restaurants in the North End, but many of them are a bit too fancy for us. However, we found a spot that we think is perfect for us, Galleria Umberto. It is a cheap, no-frills, cash-only, order-at-the-counter spot.
I love
which is
that.
totally our jam.
We got
Also
some of
my
their
jam.
Sicilian-style pizza, which has a thicker, airy, focaccia-like dough or crust and is often baked in a pan so that the edges and bottom get a little crispy. And also arancini, which are deep-fried rice balls with mozzarella, beef, and peas.
Holy.
You got a thick, nice, doughy crust
Oh,
there.
that's so
just
good,
like
I bet.
focaccia bread. The sauce is delicious. So much cheese on here.
That is super delicious. The bottom of it has a nice little crisp to it, but the inside of it, I'm gonna steal Adam's word, is super pillowy. And what makes it even better is that it's $2.25 a slice, which is such a steal. It's one of those spots that
225. Oh, that's good.
once they sell out, they close, so get there early. Because there was a line when we got there and a line when we left. It's a very popular spot.
This thing is so cheap.
Okay, this is looking really, really good. Oh boy. Do you guys like peas? I like peas.
Easy, and it's still really hot. The first thing you notice is the crispiness on the outside from being fried, real thin breading on there, and then just on the inside of there is all the rice that's nice and spongy and holds in all the meat sauce that has a good like kind of marinara pasta flavor. I didn't get a good bite of the peas, but I think that's an interesting addition.
It's so cheesy. Oh yeah, the peas are an interesting addition. Kind of gives it like a
Sweet.
earthiness to it, maybe. Oh my goodness, this is delicious. I keep thinking it's dough, but it's rice. It's so confusing. It's so good. Oh my gosh.
Damn, looks really good actually.
Very comforting.
Pastry?
Besides
Okay.
savory Italian food, another very popular thing to eat in the North End are Italian pastries, specifically.
Guys, I have a revelation to make in this channel. You know, I thought Americans are really good with barbecue, meat stuff, even seafood. I really thought that, and I'm correct on that. You guys are really good with that. But for some reason I thought, okay, they are really good at that. Maybe they are not the best when it comes to sweet stuff, cakes. Oh boy, was I wrong. Oh, you guys are amazing at that.
Cannolis. And there's a huge debate on who has the best cannoli in the North End, with Mike's Pastry and Modern Pastry being the two biggest names and the most popular with tourists. And after reading tons of reviews and opinions, we could not decide between the two, so we decided to get one from each.
Tremendous
We got the highest
choices.
recommended item from each, and from Mike's we got the Florentine, which has a honey and nut shell, and from Modern we got a plain shell with ricotta filling and pistachios. We know they're not the same kind of cannoli, so it can't be a true comparison, but we make our own rules.
So a few first impressions and good things to know. One, they are both cash only. They're also known for having some pretty long waits, especially Mike's, but we walked up and ordered at both of them, so we got super lucky.
Oh my god, that place looks like heaven.
The one from Mike's definitely
André, do you have a sweet tea, my bunch?
is bigger than the one from Modern, but it's also $1 more, so I guess that makes sense. And at Modern, they actually fill it when you order, so it's a little bit fresher, but they both look
I'm gonna say it. This one looks better. This one I'm not sure about, but this both look good actually, but this one looks better.
so good.
Okay, starting with the worst. I see it.
Oh my god, that was so good.
Maybe not.
Holy cannoli.
Holy sweet
How long
potato.
have you been waiting to say that?
Weeks. Right when you bite into it, you get a huge mouthful of all those pistachios, so it's nice and crunchy.
Now looking a bit close. Okay, this is looking actually delicious.
And the cream isn't overly sweet. It's nice and cool, and then you got a nice flaky and crispy plain shell there. This one is super good. Round two.
But I still go with this one, friends.
Oh man. This one obviously had a huge mouthful of chocolate chips, and it was amazing. The filling in here is delicious too. Again, not overly sweet, but then the shell on here, I really like that. Crispy, crunchy, and sweet. Again, holy cannoli.
Okay, that one I think was the winner, right?
I think this is my second cannoli ever, so I'm not a cannoli connoisseur by any means.
Okay.
That's really good though. The filling is so creamy. I think, yeah, the outside is a bit sweeter. The inside's not as sweet. And we have powdered sugar on top, so that adds some sweetness. All right, Mike, let's see what you got. I like the shell on that one.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to pick which one I like better? I
Yeah,
think
I
I
don't
like
know.
the shell on this one better. It's just unique. I want to say maybe I like the filling on this one better. And I might be more like pro chocolate chip over pistachio. Just sweeter? I don't know. I don't think you can go wrong with either.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum. Which one? Which one? I think I'm gonna go with the modern. I feel like this one is a little more classic, and this one's a little more kind of like a specialty flavor. I will admit though, I do like the shell on this one better, but this one just feels a little more cannoli or refined or classic, I guess. And
Well, to be fair, both look really good actually.
yeah, I'm just leaning this one.
They're basically right across the street from each other, so there's no reason you can't do a cannoli bang bang.
As promised yesterday, we're back at Boston Common. This is America's oldest public park, established in 1634, and we're gonna go through a stroll through here, plus the neighboring Boston Public Garden as we make our way to the Back Bay neighborhood.
Okay. Oh, Boston is so green. It's crazy. Hello? Wow.
Back Bay is a picturesque neighborhood lined with gorgeous brownstone homes, shops, and restaurants. It's also home to the finish line of the famous Boston Marathon, and where on April 15th, 2013, the Boston Marathon bombing occurred right near where we're standing. And these stone pillars are
Okay.
a memorial for the 3 people that died that day. This year
Okay, it's still history, but it's a bit dark. But I mean, Boston, I know I'm repeating myself, but I really like this city. I really do.
was the 10-year anniversary of the bombing, and our friend Ryan, who is the host of the Pursuit of Happiness podcast, recently had on Adrienne Hazlitt, who is a survivor of the Boston Marathon bombing. She lost her leg due to the bombing, but has since run the marathon and shares her story all around the world to inspire others. We highly recommend listening to that episode.
Okay. Like I said, this city is all about history. It's
We
crazy.
just popped into the Boston Public Library. That's right, this is not a museum, this is a library. It has Renaissance-style
What?
architecture and all of these stunning columns, ornate details, and murals. It really feels like we're in an art museum or something. We spend a lot of time in libraries on the road. They're our go-to spot to work because they're free and they usually have fast Wi-Fi. And this is hands down the most beautiful library we have ever been to.
This library is
My friend, sorry for pausing, but Boston is looking tremendous. I really believe if you like history, this is the place to go. Would you guys agree with that? If so, leave me a like. Also, another thing. I know I'm repeating myself, but anyone watching from Boston, if so, leave me a comment, my friend, because I take a look at most comments and I would love to know you. Your city looks amazing.
like some of the palaces we've been to in Italy and in Mexico.
Really give me a moment, you know.
Boston Public Library. That's right, this is not a museum, this is a library.
Great.
It has Renaissance-style architecture and all of these stunning columns, ornate details, and murals. It really feels like we're in an art museum or something. We spend a lot of time in libraries on the road. They're our go-to spot to work because they're free and they usually have fast Wi-Fi. And this is hands down the most beautiful library we have ever been to.
This library is like some of the palaces we've been to in Italy and in Mexico. It is so beautiful.
So this, honestly, this looks a place that could be in Italy.
Seriously, if you blindfolded me and dropped me here, I would think we were in Europe or something.
Yeah. And I bet Boston people are very proud of
We're back,
their
baby.
city.
Not only did we go on a tour of Fenway Park this morning, but we're going to a game.
And let me say one thing. I'm saying Boston people, but Americans. I mean, America is such a tremendous place overall. I was reacting to... someone said, oh, Nebraska, not a lot happening there. I reacted to Omaha in Nebraska. Tremendous city.
Game tonight.
America is amazing everywhere. raining.
Let's go!
Oh, the feeling you have here, probably. What a fun. I know very little about baseball, by the way, but like I said, seems a tremendous sport.
That marks the end of our 49th state, and I cannot think of a better ending than a Red Sox game. It was a dream come true.
But to give you an update on what's next for us, we're actually going to be heading up to the Canadian Maritimes in Newfoundland for the entire summer and fall. And you may be thinking, wait, what about your 50th state? Well, we're actually going to be flying back to the US very soon for some very big plans that we have in Iowa, so stay tuned. But in the meantime, we are so pumped to begin our Northeast Canada adventures.
I may watch that also, because I also think Canada and America, they...
Hey Toots, you know what I could really
Yeah,
use
very
right now
similar.
is a cup of coffee.
Get some chowder.
All right, we're gonna go to Starbucks. I'm gonna say light ice, please, and don't be charging me extra, okay? Scratch that. You can keep.
Oh, charging me extra, charging me. So, yeah, the R goes away. Charging me. Okay, I get it.
Keep your Starbucks. We're gonna pop into Dunkies and get a giant cup of Joe. You know, we're gonna try a lot of iconic Boston foods here, and they're just gonna be some wicked pisses.
That
Very
polar
good,
beer
I
guy,
think.
you know, one lane of this, two lane is this. Come on. Jeez, I'll talk. We bought this umbrella because the whole last week it said it's gonna be heavy rain on the 2 days we're here. As you can see, it's
Nothing.
pretty sunny and it's still coming in handy.
TripAdvisor is the world's largest travel website with 2.3 million accommodations.
How's the fit?
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Really nice on him.
Drop it
It's a meme.
Second time I've gotten low outside of Fenway today.
Okay. Hey, my friends, thank you so much for watching this with me. This channel is amazing, Adventure of AK. So show them some support. Of course, I link them. I really love react to their stuff, and of course, we should all give them some type of support. Just leave a like. You can even say that you came from André. It would mean a lot to me because I really love react to their stuff. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this. See you guys in the next one. Bye, my friends, and don't forget, you are from Boston. You have to leave me a comment.